कैंडिड इंटरफेस को स्वागत दर्शक बंधु नमस्कार
नमस्कार।
आज आम गहन अच्छा श्री कृष्ण मोहन टाटा से जने ऑथर और बहुत परिचित एंटरप्रेन्योर। आज आमर विषय वस्तु है प्ले टू विन। मिस्टर टाटा, I'll ask you a very lovely question which is very dear to you, and the question is, what do you understand by play to win?
First of all, I would like to thank you for having me here. Thank you so much. So, winning, what is winning and how do you play to win? That's a beautiful question, I would say. And when you have a goal in mind and you have to reach that goal, you have to be determined and be committed to reach that goal. So, how do you plan the journey? If you have, say, a goal of winning a particular accolade, so you have to work towards it. And how do you work towards it? You have to put in the best efforts, you have to be determined, you have to work hard for it, and above all, you have to believe in yourself. Then only you can reach that
What I'm
goal.
trying to tell is, you need to create milestones for yourself. When you create benchmarks for yourself, you move from one milestone to other, and finally you reach your goal.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that is what is
Absolutely. When
Thank
you're
you.
playing to win, you're playing with determination.
absolutely, that is very important. Now, one again little thing again which I thought of asking you is, do you think always we can win? Is it possible to win always?
No, like as Lord Krishna told Arjuna in the battlefield, what is most important is the journey. You have to put in your best efforts, and sometimes in spite of putting in the best efforts, you working hard, winning doesn't happen. But it is not the end of the story. What matters is the joy of the journey. You learn, you experience so many things, and at that point you may feel sad for a little minute, but at the end of the day it is the experience that matters. That's what I would like to say. Winning may not be always possible.
But what I would like to tell you is, I think the spirit of winning is still more important.
Absolutely.
Because if you move ahead and with a determination, with a spirit of winning, I'm sure even if you lose, at least you will feel that I have given my best.
Absolutely, you put in the right word there, the spirit of winning.
Yeah, that is very important.
Yeah.
One little thing which we understand is that you have a passion for writing, and you are a good author. Other than an entrepreneur, you are also a good author. You have a passion for writing. Now, Mr. Tata, how do you balance your business with your passion, that is writing? Could you please share it with our viewers?
You see, like being the director of a company called Gitanjali Awards, which is an MSME, and where we need to put in a lot of effort. But I would like to say that my co-director, my partner, Mr. BP Mahapatra, Buddha Prakash Mahapatra, is a lovely, lovely guy, and he gives me a lot of freedom, and he takes care of many things when I am in the spirit of writing. Writing requires a lot of commitment, and the thoughts have to come. It's a very creative thing. It might come today, it might come tomorrow, but when you sit down to write, you require that time. And I would like to thank BP out here. He gives me a lot of time.
Wonderful.
And of course, I've got a great Lagan team. Again, my siblings, Murli and Madhavi, my friend called Sujata, Kali, all these guys, they push me towards writing, and they make sure that if I'm writing something, I show it to them. My daughter is my best critic. If I write something and show her a piece, she'll say, Papa, this is rotten. If it's rotten, then I just throw it off. But taking out time and all, first of all, you got to have that passion.
Yeah, right.
Only then will you take out the time.
Right.
Unless you have that passion, you won't be able to take out that time.
Definitely you will appreciate that a lot of creativity is needed, when you write something, because new ideas need to come, where people will, after reading, they'll really enjoy it. Now, according to you, what is creativity?
See, creativity, according to me, can be anything. A person making a samosa or a singada is also very creative, if he can make it nicely. I see a lot of people who are very creative in their own very little aspect. The other day, I saw one lady. She was making bodies, and she was making it circular, circular, circular. She could have made it like this, like this, like this.
Right.
But she was making it real circle. That is creativity.
Right.
Creativity can be anything which can be termed to look, which has the aesthetic sense.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
that-
you see, creativity is like a freedom, you know. You move in your own way, but when people see it, they say, oh my God, this is Mr. Tata's story. It's a lovely one. you know.
Yeah, end of the day, what is creativity? Creativity is something which connects with the other person's heart. If it connects and if you are able to create that kind of equation with the reader or with the person who's buying a product, and if it is, that is creativity. In my opinion, that is
Right,
creativity.
wonderful.
Connect.
Wonderful. Mr. Tata, you will appreciate very much that, you know, people always aspire for big things in life. But I personally feel, I am of the opinion that even small things matter. Even winning small things even matter in life. What is your comment to this?
Yeah, you know, I would like to tell you, like, the basis of my book, A Jar of Pebbles, is all about simplicity. You know, I would like to say that, you know, as I told in my book, there's something magical about the ordinary. On the face of it, it may look colorless, orderless, shapeless, but when you scratch the surface of the ordinary, its earthy colors will engulf you with joy and happiness. So there's beauty in small things. If you are looking for joy, it may sound like a cliche, but happiness lies in simplicity. Simple things, simple joys. So yes, winning a simple thing also, you have to look for the beauty in those simple things.
Right.
Then only will you be able to look at the larger things with a different kind of perspective.
Absolutely. Like for example, you know, if you take cricket for that matter, you know, if the batsman always, you know, focuses on hitting sixes and fours, he will never win. Because even ones, twos and threes are also important for him. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, that also is a very important thing in life. You know, we say, oh my God, I'm playing cricket, I should always hit six and fours. No, even ones and twos, because ultimately 1, 1, 1, 1 will make 4, 2 plus 2 plus 2 always makes 6. So even small things matter in life, and small things really help you in winning in life, which I'm sure you'll appreciate.
Absolutely. Setting small goals, you know, like you might be having a larger goal. Hey, I want to do 100 crores this year or in 10 years. But how do you work towards it? You have to submit small, little, like you said, the ones and twos are very, very important.
In life.
You can't always hit a 6.
Right.
There is, you have to take the ones and twos. Very, very right.
Now one little thing I would just like to ask you, like for example, you know, could you just cite an example, you know, though I would say it is a tough one. Like for example, you wanted to do something and that really prompted you to do something big. Do you get my point? My question for that matter is, can you cite an example which has prompted you to work with more vigor and zeal? What's that? Can you cite an example? There will be many examples in your life, but I would like to request you to share the best so that my viewers will feel very happy listening to you.
Yeah. So my memory goes back to almost 15, 17 years ago, when our organization Geetanjali Awards was just about setting its feet, you know, getting its things right. At that point of time, we used to make small gift articles out of acrylic, like small plaques which would say, hey, my brother, my dad, you know, and those were given away in gift shops. At some point of time, there was a, you know, the then principal of DAV Public School, Dr. K.C. Satpathy, he called us and said that, hey, you're making small items out of acrylic. So can you, there's an athletic championship coming up,
Right.
and it's a CBSE athletic championship. If you're making these things, can you make trophies using the same material? So, and that was one of the big challenges.
Yeah.
So, and that
Was a big booster for you.
big
you know.
booster.
Yeah.
On one end, we were awestruck, like, hey, we don't have the technologies. How can we do it? But he said, hey, you guys, you take a look at what
So
you have.
you took that as a challenge.
We
you know.
took at that as a challenge. And then there was a National Children's Science Congress. For the first time, it was being held at KIT campus. And there were, those people required thousands of mementos. And we went ahead, took a call, and worked overnight. And our team put in, everybody put in there, you know, like, he said, hey, we have got a big order. The
It was more
president-
like a teamwork, you
Yeah.
know, all working together.
the then President Abdul Kalam was coming, and you know, like he would be giving away our products which are made in Bhubaneswar,
Yeah,
Gitanjali Awards products, and it gave us a big kick, and we felt, nay, we have to do it. And I still remember that one of our teammates, he was working and he had a boil in his eye, but he tied it up and he said, Naimo Koribi. You know, and that is
Yeah,
something,
that's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
And our entire team worked like that. And that prompted us to think big, and that was one of the stepping stones.
Right, great, great.
Yeah.
You must have seen in life, you know, we attempt so many things, you know, but sometimes we fail also. I don't say that always we are successful. Sometimes we fail also. Now, I would like to ask you, you have also been attempting different things. You have gone into different forays in life. Now, tell me, failures have disappointed you, or you think here is an opportunity to learn from this and move ahead for better challenges?
So, you know, like when you ask me this question, just instantly my memory goes back to an ad, you know, which I saw in Reader's Digest years ago. It was an ad for a brand, a clothing brand, I believe, which said that failure is like a rung in the ladder. You know, failure is something which we should accept. We should accept with deep sense, with respect, and failure is something which teaches you to be more humble. It makes you realize that these things do happen, but it also gives you great experience of how not to commit those mistakes again. You know that, hey, we did something which went wrong, but no, it should not disappoint you. We have faced, I personally have faced many failures in my life,
Right.
but after, yes, there is an initial disappointment.
Yeah, right.
Always, we are all human beings.
Absolutely.
You will be disappointed, but then you have to move on.
Yeah.
But how do you move on unless you put it behind you? And if you put it behind you, it has to push you forward.
Right,
The experience from the failure will push you forward and make you
Towards
think
success.
towards success and make you think in a better manner. It will give you better thoughts, and you will be able to see things in a much more clearer perspective.
As you very rightly said, you have started from small things and now you are moving for something big.
Yeah.
Not only in your products like Gitanjali Awards, but also as a writer, because you have already written one book and you are looking an opportunity to write many more books.
Right.
Now, I would just like to ask you, who is your inspiration behind this?
I would like to say, like, the primary inspiration, you know, like for all these things would be my parents. You know, like my father was a professor and HOD of biochemistry in Odisha Veterinary College. So he was born in a family of 7, and my grandfather was a headmaster, and he passed away pretty early. And at that point of time, all of them were left to fend for themselves. And he, in that state of not having, you know, proper food to eat, not having proper clothes to wear, he went ahead and did his the ISc, then BSc, BVSc, MVSc, and went on to do a PhD from the USA. And my mom also, you know, coming from a small village, she was the first graduate from a place called Srikakulam. And
Great.
these people in those times, you know, like I still remember, you know, once I was never a great student, and you know, once in college I won a small shiny little medal for an essay competition and a certificate. So it was evening, we were standing under the stars, under the open sky, and I shyly went and showed it to my dad, you know, because I was never a topper. So he just patted me on my back. And that pat on the back has always been there with me. You know, so
you are still feeling that pat on your back by your
So like
father.
as our tagline says for
Yeah.
Gitanjali Awards, recognition is always treasured. And my mom always used to say, like there's a story in my book also, she used to say, you should light the lamp within yourself.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So-
Great.
Yeah.
You see, now you are doing business. Other than author, you are also doing business. Now, what is your opinion? Do you really feel in the long run honesty pays?
Absolutely. Without batting an eyelid, I would say that honesty is the best policy for any business person. you know, like all these stories which you hear about like people making it big, and then, you know, there's something so honest about honesty, something very earthy about honesty. You may call it old fashioned value, but that is a value which will always pay for you.
Yeah,
Because if you lie, you have to say 100 lies to cover it up.
Yeah,
if you
right.
do one wrong thing, you'll have to do 100 wrong things to cover it up. But go straight, be honest, and it will always
Yeah,
deliver.
truth and honesty really pays.
Yeah, it will always deliver. In
Yeah.
the long run, it always delivers. No
Absolutely.
doubt about it.
Absolutely. Now, as a businessman, you will appreciate that these days brand building has become very, very important. Whether the organization is big or small does not matter. Everybody needs to build their brand. Now, what is the mode of your brand building to make your products visible in the marketplace?
Yeah, that's a very relevant question. As you rightly said, build your brand. You have to build your brand to be visible. So, the first thing that comes to my mind, you know, as the director of Gitanjali Awards, I would like to say that the quality of the product or the quality of the service which you provide has to be A grade. It
Right.
has to be excellent. That is the first priority.
Your first emphasis is on quality.
The first emphasis is on quality.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, in whatever line of business you are in, you have to provide or make a good quality product. As far as we are concerned, as far as Gitanjali Awards is concerned, we always emphasize on the service which we provide to our clients. When a client calls us, when he calls Gitanjali Awards, our client counselor takes over, understands what she needs. Is it a conference? Is it a sports meet? What is the kind of award that person is looking for? What is the kind of memento that person is looking for?
Right.
And what kind of design? What is your budget? And there's a hand holding exercise
Right.
in the entire process, and that is a USP. And when a person gets that kind of a service, he will go and tell another person
Right.
that, hey, these guys are giving good service.
Yeah.
And the word of mouth is one of the best tools for publicity, for
Yeah,
building
it's a-
your brand.
yeah.
That is the foremost, I would say, the foremost tool for building your brand.
Yeah,
is word
it's
of
definitely a form of good advertisement also.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you say, people move around and tell, oh my God, oh, your product, Gitanjali Award, is really superb, and really it creates constant circles, you know, and people again come back to you and say, oh, please, I would like to order 10 trophies from you.
Yeah.
So, you know, it really play.
Yeah, yeah.
You very
So,
rightly
yeah,
said.
yeah. So, like, you know, there are many ways to build your brand.
Wonderful.
And depending on what you are, who you are, you can always.
Right.
Yeah.
As I saw in your book, you know, I just went through your book and I saw over there, you have written a lovely line, and that line is, life is beautiful when we accept our own imperfect rotis. I repeat, imperfect rotis. Please comment on this. What's actually you would like to tell in your book?
Yeah. So this is an experience. My book, you know, A Jar of Pebbles, as I told you, it's stories about memories and stories about beautiful experiences which I have also had in life. So one day I was making rotis which we eat. Now I can't make rotis in a proper shape for nuts. If I can't make those proper circular goal rotis, and I was making rotis and all of them were going out of shape. One was shaped like some map, one was shaped in between, a cross between a circle and a square and a rectangle, and I was totally frustrated and fed up. At that minute, while I was making my rotis, a friend called, and I was angry and I took out my anger on her. You know, I shouted at her, I screamed at her, and then she gave it back to me. And then she said, hey, you know, like, everybody has some imperfections. None of us is perfect. Your imperfection is, one of your imperfections is, you can't make rotis for nuts. Accept it. Move on. You don't need to be frustrated or upset about it. So then it set me thinking, you know, hey, all of us are different. None of us is completely perfect, sir.
So as you very rightly put it, whether the rotis are round, oblong, rectangle, doesn't matter. Ultimately, when you make your own rotis, I'm sure you must have relished it.
Yeah. So what happens is, like I'm telling you, like some of us can't make a PowerPoint, some of us can't sing properly, some of us can't write properly, some of us can't speak properly, but that doesn't mean that, you know, we are bad or something. All of us have our very own imperfections, and you have to accept our imperfections. So as I said, life is beautiful when we accept our very own imperfect rotis.
Great. Now, one little thing, you know, which really comes to my mind, and I thought I'll put it across is, you see, you have moved from one milestone to another, but even then, if I ask you today, there must be an unfinished agenda for you, because you wanted to do so many things, but that has not happened. How do you plan to complete your unfinished agenda?
Yeah. See, you know, planning to do
Particularly, please share with us your very own agenda, which you thought I'll finish it, but till now you have not been able to finish it. How do you plan to finish that unfinished agenda?
Yeah. So as far as it comes to my personal agenda, surely, like, you know, like I want to take out a little bit of time and, you know, maybe writing, or maybe doing a podcast, or maybe writing a script. There are a billion things. Unfinished agenda is always unfinished, you see. So I plan to sit down and take out a little bit of time every day and do a lot of things slowly but surely. And as far as business is concerned also, we have many dreams for Gitanjali Awards, and we are working on it. And recently we went national. We have an e-commerce website where people can buy online, and
wonderful.
we plan to, you know, make it a much better, easy to operate, more customized, operatable website, an e-commerce website. And we are working, that's an unfinished agenda, and we are working on it slowly but surely, how to make it more easy, how do we reach out to all the people who are looking for trophies in the country. So that
Wonderful.
is a
Wonderful
agenda which
so you are on it, and I'm sure very soon you will be able to reach your goal. Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Tata, definitely will appreciate, we have discussed many things, intellectual pursuits, business, honesty, truth, creativity. We have discussed so many things. At the end, I would request you to kindly share an inspirational message for our esteemed viewers.
Yeah, couple of things, you know, like which will never go out of fashion. One is that no matter what, you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah, right.
You have to understand that you can do anything in life provided you believe in what you want to do in life. That is the primary thing.
Right.
The other thing is, you know, like what most of us, you know, nowadays I see, like we look at some other person and say, hey, he has got that. Hey, she has got that. I don't have this. But you know what? You have to pat yourself on your back.
Right.
You have to fall in love with yourself. Only then will you be able to look at the world with a different perspective. When you fall in love with yourself, you realize,
you must inspire within also.
Yeah. So the inspiration has to come from within.
Yeah.
And it will only come from within when you fall in love with yourself, when you pat yourself.
Absolutely.
As our tagline for Gitanjali Awards says, recognition is always treasured, and it starts at home.
Right.
It starts with yourself.
Right.
No matter what, pat yourself on your back, and you are the best person. Believe in it. Remember that. And believe me, this particular thought will take you miles ahead. If not today, but tomorrow, but surely yes.
ମୁଁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ମଧ୍ୟ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ଆମର ବନ୍ଧୁଙ୍କୁ କହିବି ଯେ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯେତେବେଳେ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ସାଥିରେ ପହଞ୍ଚୁଛନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ଜିନିଷ ହେଲା ଜୀବନରେ ବା ବିଜନେସରେ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ସେଇଟା ହେଲା ଲୋକ ସମ୍ପର୍କ ପବ୍ଲିକ ରିଲେସନ୍ ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ ପବ୍ଲିକ ରିଲେସନ୍ସ ସୋ how you other than building your product or organization brand, how you focus on public relations also, because you know I think public relation for business is also a very important area. So how you develop good relations and connectivity with people around, and that is public relation. Could you please tell on that also, because I am sure readers will also be interested to listen to that also.
Yeah. So, you know, like what is public relations? Your like, you know, your viewpoint about what others think about you.
Right.
And
right.
that exactly comes only when you meet a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And only when they know you, when you network with people, when you meet people and they understand what you do. But at the end of the day, you know what, your PR will also be good if you yourself are good and if you're delivering a good product.
Right.
You are your own brand ambassador.
Right.
You are the brand, you are representing, like I'm the brand ambassador of my company, Gitanjali Awards. I'm the brand ambassador of myself. And when I'm meeting so many people and when I'm talking to so many people, it is about visibility. How do you make yourself visible in a positive manner? It is
Absolutely.
only when you talk about yourself and you deliver good things, quality things. And
Yeah.
when you meet so many people, when you
Yeah, you must make your community happy because, you know, ultimately it is the community or the people around us.
Yeah.
Once, you know, they speak good of us, and when they speak good about us, about our service, about our and about our product, definitely that is the best PRO which we can.
Absolutely.
Because public relation ultimately helps in business and also in developing good relation with people.
Absolutely.
Both, dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad.